True. As a result, Burns realizes that he doesn't have a single friend.
Hell yeah!
Finally, a break for the black man.
This better not be a gag.
Everyone hates him, and he can't figure out why. So Burns decides to end it all early and jumps straight off a cliff. But even though he thinks he can put an end to everything, he ends up unconscious in the woods all night. The next day, Bart comes to play in the forest. He finds Burns unconscious.
You, my mommy, daddy, puppy.
Whoa, your brain's turned oatmeal.
My name, oatmeal.
Bart discovers that Burns has lost his memory, so Bart takes him home. Just as Bart is giving Burns a bath, Burns runs into the living room. The whole family finds out about his presence. Homer is set on getting revenge on Burns, but Marge stops him. Marge thinks Burns should be taken to court. However, the townsfolk are all thinking about getting revenge on Burns. The final verdict is that each person in town gets 30 minutes a day to do whatever they want to him. Homer walks Burns like a dog.
Dad, you're gonna wreck him for everybody.
Don't worry, boy. Another girder always swings in for you to walk on right when you get to the end.
The convenience store owner uses him as a human shield. Nelson, who has always longed for a father. Eventually, it's Homer's turn again, but he's had his fun. So Homer hands Burns over to Lisa. Lisa doesn't want to tease him, but Maggie wants this chance. Lisa takes Burns back to his old mansion. After Burns sees a painting on the wall, all his memories come flooding back. The first thing he does is find Smithers, and then he starts his revenge spree. Just when things get critical, Marge steps forward. She tells him that the reason he is still alive is because he has been helping people lately. Burns decides to test this right away. He gives Ralph a piece of candy, but then snatches it back and gives it to him again. Marge's suggestion was to reinforce the sofa with high-strength steel to prevent it from collapsing. Just then, Maggie started crying, and Kumiko helped her pick up her toy. When Maggie reached out for a hug, the baby's cuteness instantly triggered Kumiko's maternal instinct. However, comic book guy didn't want kids because he felt he hadn't grown up yet. To change his mind, Kumiko tried to seduce him through costume play. Comic book guy couldn't resist the temptation. He took photos of her, then fled into the bathroom. Homer decided to let comic book guy experience the misery of parenthood firsthand. First, he told Lisa and Bart to pretend to be well-behaved.
Hello, little Whiskey Bean. Yo, Kingpin, how's the ponytail hanging?
Then asked comic book guy to take the kids to a movie while he and Marge snuck off to the cemetery to flirt. When the kids went to look for their parents, they saw the cemetery gate shaking and fled in terror into comic book guy's arms. Faced with the crying children and unsure how to comfort them, comic book guy panicked and ran away. The next day, Homer visited comic book guy and was surprised to learn that comic book guy actually came from a wealthy family. Comic book guy's father loved collecting stamps but was bad at showing affection. As a child, comic book guy loved baseball, but he always had to sit on the bench. It wasn't until the entire team got injured that he finally got a chance to play, but his father never showed up. After the team lost the game, his teammate Nate threw him into a trash bin. Just then, a garbage truck delivered a full load of comic books, and this incident planted the seed for his obsession with comics later in life. Later, Marge threatened comic book guy's father with his precious stamp collection, forcing him to apologize to his son. It turned out that back then, the father had been afraid his son would lose the game, so he didn't go to the scene. Instead, he bought a baseball signed by his son's favorite star, but never had the courage to give it to him. Comic book guy finally understood his father's love and resolved the emotional hang-up he had carried for years. After that, he decided to start a cosplay baby-making plan with Kumiko into the top of the pyramid.
You're about a foot short of the record.
However, when the judges measured, they found they were still 1 foot short of the world record. Homer placed Maggie on his head. Just as he thought he had broken the record, the judges announced that they needed to hold the position for 3 seconds to count.
1 Mississippi. 2 Mississippi.
The judge counted to 2, and everyone couldn't hold on any longer. They collapsed into a huge ball, rolled down the slope, and finally crashed into a truck. When the judge arrived and checked the number on the scale, he was shocked. On the spot, the judge declared that Springfield had become the fattest town in the world.
In your face, Milwaukee!
The residents all celebrated Springfield being named the fattest city in America. Everyone here had a big belly, and even Homer was no exception. However, Marge didn't like this situation. While Bart and Lisa were eating pie that contained a lot of sugar. It even splattered onto Maggie's face. Even when Homer ate grapefruit, he dipped it in sugar. When Marge went shopping at the supermarket, she discovered that every product on the shelves contained excessive amounts of sugar. Sugar not only makes people fat but is also addictive. APU explained. He added that all the items in the store came from the sugar factory. After Marge went to the sugar factory, she uncovered a secret. It turned out that the raw materials used by the sugar factory were actually industrial waste.